Moving on, some educational opportunities are coming right around the corner for cattle producers that they should mark on their calendars. Market Journal's Bill Dodd standing by with more information. Bill?
Thanks, Alex. It's no secret that Nebraska is one of the top cattle producing states in the U.S., and that's one of many reasons there's a long-standing history of Nebraska Extension working directly with cattle producers across the state. Now, last year, the University of Nebraska launched a new extension program to further help cattle producers optimize heifer development and reproductive efficiency. With the U.S. cow herd at historic lows, the University of Nebraska-Lincoln is focusing on how to grow the cow herd while advancing the quality of female genetics that are the foundation of the U.S. beef industry. The Great Plains Heifer Development Center at UNL's Haskell Ag Lab near Concord was launched last winter as part of that effort. The program gave producers access to a variety of different tools and information and is wrapping up its first year of operation.
These are often things that they have the abilities to do themselves, but sometimes it's just difficult and time consuming, and ranchers aren't long on a whole lot of extra time. So anything that we can do to help them out and pull that data so then we can evaluate it and compare it to the cattle here in the upper Midwest, and basically use it as a learning opportunity for everybody involved in how we can advance the females within this industry and have less fallout of younger cows and allow those cows to have greater longevity within these herds.
For those who are interested in learning more about this program or are considering joining, you'll have an opportunity to learn more about this program in person. Coming up next week on October 2nd, Nebraska Extension will host an open field day at the Haskell Ag Lab near Concord from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Attendees will have the chance to hear from some of the program's partners and participants about their experience, a tour of the Heifer Development Center, and an in-depth look at data garnered from the first year of operation. Also coming up in the month of October, ranchers and land managers can learn all about forage, production, stocking rates, and managing risk during an interactive online learning experience provided by Nebraska Extension. A 6-session webinar focused on the basics of knowing, growing, and grazing grass will begin on October 14th through the 31st.
I think the highlights of it is really the resource materials and then the opportunity for people to interact around the topic. So first night, we're going to ask folks to come prepared to talk about, what are some main grasses they have on their plate. So we're going to ask them to send us pictures of grasses they have, or actually just bring grass samples from the pasture, talk about them on camera. Then we're going to take that and really transition into understanding, okay, now that we know that, how do we understand what's the productive potential of your situation or where you're at? So looking at things like web soil survey to understand based on that soil type, precipitation, forages that should be there, what could you expect to grow under good to excellent conditions? And then we're going to start to talk about, okay, now that we know that, how can we develop a grazing plan that matches what you have with what you want to harvest from there with the grazing animal? We're going to focus primarily on cattle, but it could be sheep, goats, some other livestock as well. And then we're also going to just talk about, as you think about understanding your grazing plan, what are things that could impact that? Things like drought, frost. How do we adjust that to make changes when we need to adjust the grazing we're doing to make sure we're managing that grass in a way that's sustainable, maintaining it, or improving it if there's opportunity to do that.
If this seems like an opportunity you would be interested in, the time to register is now. The deadline to register is October 1st, and that'll be here before you know it. The cost for the webinar series is $100 per person. Each webinar will be recorded and available online to registered participants after each session. Now, if you have any questions, you're encouraged to reach out to Aaron Berger directly. You'll find his information at the bottom of your screen right now. And we'll be sure to post some helpful links along with this story on the Market Journal homepage. Back to you, Alex.